Seeker. Written by Susanna Thompson. Performed by Heather Firth. Chapter 3. 5 more years pass before I see him again. I am 14 years old by then, and no longer a clueless child. Patterns are becoming clear in my mind, and the circumstances of our next meeting confirm them to me. We are visiting my uncle in the hospital after the removal of a tumor from his abdomen. Mom is very worried about her brother and about whether all his cancer is gone. I am deemed old enough to go see him with my parents. My little brother is on a playdate at a friend's house. He knows that Uncle Dave had an operation, but he doesn't know about the cancer. Uncle Dave smiles when we enter his room, but it's not his usual big, happy smile. He is normally an energetic man with a booming voice, but his illness has weakened him. Seeing him lying subdued and lethargic in the hospital bed makes me understand why Mom is so worried about him. I am mostly quiet during our visit with him, except for answering the few questions he asks me about school, and if Justin is listening to me. He always likes to tease me about being the bossy big sister. But the truth is that Justin and I get along very well, despite the 4-year gap in age between us. Uncle Dave introduces us to Bill, the man occupying the other hospital bed in his room. He informs us that he had a hernia operation today. His wife enters the room shortly before the doctor comes to check on him. The doctor pulls the curtain around his bed for privacy, and we return our attention to Uncle Dave. Then someone else enters the room. I recognize him immediately, and he also pauses to take a lingering look at me. He looks exactly the same as the last time I saw him, except for the blonde streak in his black hair. I stare at it, remembering the silky feel as I slid my hand through his hair. His feet begin to move again, and he walks through the curtain hiding Bill's bed from our view. He walks back out again after probably only a minute. I can hear the doctor telling Bill that everything looks good and that he'll be going home in the morning. I have to go to the restroom, I say as I stand up to follow him out into the hallway. He leads me in the opposite direction from the restrooms. We walk out into the stairwell that hardly anyone uses, since most people favor taking the elevator. He passes right through the door, but I have to open it to step out onto the landing. "Who are you?" I ask. He simply regards me in silence. "How did Grandma know who you are?" I question. "They always know," he replies in his horribly strained, parched voice. "Did you kill her?" I demand. "And those kids at the zoo? Is that why they were so scared of you?" "No," he answers. "It was their time." "She said she was going to be okay," I exclaim, "because you didn't touch her." "That's a myth," he tells me. "My touch doesn't kill. They wouldn't feel my touch anyway." "What about me?" I ask. "Can I feel your touch?" He begins to reach out toward me, but then lowers his hand. "I shouldn't." "Why not?" I inquire. "You said it won't kill me." "It won't," he confirms. "But your hair." "How did you do that?" I wonder out loud, having long since made the connection between the dark patch and him touching my hair. "I don't know," he says. "I've never touched anyone before." I point toward the blonde streak. "Did I do that to your hair?" "Yes," he states. "It changed after you touched it." Even though I had suspected that was the case, I'm still amazed by it. "How?" "I don't know," he answers. "No one has ever touched me before." "Because they're scared, I guess." "Because they can't," he explains. They pass right through me. I ask the obvious question. Then why can I touch you? He again replies that he doesn't know. What do you know? I snap in exasperation. Besides, when someone's going to die. Your name is Mila, he says. And your name is Death, I retort, remembering the creepy cloaked figure in movies. My name is Silas, he counters in his raw, raspy voice. He would be very scary if he looked as creepy as he sounds. But he looks like a teenage boy, so I talk to him like he is one. Great, I remark sarcastically. The Grim Reaper has a name. Your myths are... Am I going to die? I cut in. Everyone dies, he states. Right now, I clarify impatiently. Is it my time? No, he answers. Then go haunt someone else, I say. I'm not dead, he tells me. No, you just make everybody else dead, I note angrily. Well, not this time. I'm going to save that man. You can't, he informs me in his emotionless tone. Maybe I can, I throw back at him. I can do other things that nobody else can. If I can touch you, then maybe I can stop you. I whirl around and open the door to the hallway. He doesn't follow me back to the room as I spot a nurse exiting from it. I rush after her and stop her a few doors down. Please, I say. Can you make sure Bill's okay? In room 312? I was just in there and he's fine. Can you keep checking on him? I plead. I have a bad feeling about him. Don't worry, honey. He just had a routine procedure. It's nothing to worry about. She assures me. Please just check on him tonight, I repeat. I have a real bad feeling. Okay, she agrees, probably just to get rid of me. Having done all I could, I go back to the room. Did you fall in? Dad teases. I was seeing what they have in the vending machines. I lie. That's the only decent food in this place, Bill comments. The curtain is now open and I can see him. How are you feeling? I ask worriedly. Aren't you a sweet kid? He smiles warmly at me. I'm good. A little sore, but nothing major. Hey, what about me? Uncle Dave protests jokingly. I feel like crap. Thanks for asking. My gaze briefly flits toward him. You'll be fine, I tell him dismissively. Mila, Mom scolds. Have some compassion. Your uncle just had... No. Uncle Dave interrupts her. Mila's got the right attitude. I know, Mom concedes. But I'll be fine, he assures her. I will. Mom is still worried when we leave the hospital. I just hope they got it all, and that he'll be all right. He will, I state with confidence. It's not his time to die yet. She gives me a startled look. Nobody knows when it's someone's time. Somebody does, I mutter. Then I put on a brighter expression for her. He'll be okay, Mom. I just know it. Mom hears the news when she speaks to Uncle Dave on the phone the following day. His hospital roommate, Bill, died from a blood clot during the night. You just never know, she says as she's discussing it with Dad. He had a routine operation that people have done all the time. There are hardly ever any complications, but he was one of the unfortunate few. Meanwhile, Uncle Dave continues to recover from his much more serious medical condition. He looks greatly improved when he is discharged from the hospital, and he remains cancer-free. I'm happy for him, but disappointed about not being able to save Bill. And I hope never to see Silas again.